Good morning, everybody. Uh, Finally got my hair cut. It grows fast, and at some point it starts to get annoying, but feels better now. Anyway, I thought, of course, once again at night I'm laying in bed, can't sleep, and I'm thinking of video ideas, and I came up with this. 100 best albums of the 80s. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go through this is Rolling Stone, by the way. I'm going to go through the albums and I'm going to just talk about the ones that I had, at least back in the 80s, and the ones I didn't, and what I think of them. And as always, please remember to like the video, subscribe, and leave a comment below when after I'm done going through my list, and then let me know your favorites from the 80s. So, Sun City, I remember buying I don't think I bought the album, but I bought the single, mainly because Bono from U2 was on it. And I really like the song, so yeah, very good song and a good message. Was Not Was, What Up Dog. I did not have that album, but I bought, it might have been it was the one with, I think, Ozzy Osbourne on one of the songs. But it was okay, and that's one of those bands, like Glenn Kellaway from The Basement, my buddy on YouTube. He does not like bands with silly names, and Was Not Was is a very silly, stupid name. So even that annoyed me back in the day. UB40, I never bought. I know Red Red Wine. I think that's about it, but I never bought their albums. Graham Parker. Uh, I know I've heard his music, but no, I never bought. Oh, I did actually. Squeezing Out Sparks. Maybe I bought it because the word Sparks was in the title. But I never got into him. Culture Club. I never bought Culture Club, but I enjoy their music. I think Boy George is very talented, and yeah, but stuff like that in the 80s I wasn't a big fan of. Although there was some poppy stuff coming up that I bought. I was a huge fan of John Cougar Mellencamp. And for quite a few years I was buying his albums. So Scarecrow, great album. New Order, never bought their music. Luther Vandross, might have had a single or two because I used to disc jockey in the 80s with a couple of different people, but I never had his albums. But a great talent, of course. No, I don't have any Tom Petty, and I think he's one of the greatest. It's just, um, I don't know. It's similar to Bruce Springsteen these days. I'd never listened to him, but he's, like I said, he's one of the greats, and I love, I could have his greatest hits for sure. He's just written so many great songs. When he comes on the radio, except for Free Fallin', which has been so overplayed here in my area, but just a great talent. Never bought Lyle Lovett. I I like the Police, but unlike most people, I'm not a big fan of the Police, and Sting's solo career I had no interest in. Aretha Franklin, I bought her a couple of her singles for, the disc jockeying, but none of her albums. Jackson Browne, I never bought Jackson Browne albums. I never bought Steel Wheels. This was around the time I kind of stopped buying Rolling Stones albums because I'd buy a new one, I'd like it, I'd play it 2 or 3 times, and then I'd never play it again. So I think the last one for me is Emotional Rescue. I've still got a bit of a cold, if you can hear. Yeah, I bought Bruce Springsteen's The River when it came out. Not my favorite, though. My favorite of his is Tunnel of Love. And, of course, Born to Run, Nebraska. But at the moment, I think I've just got Born to Run. I'd love to get Tunnel of Love on CD again. I bought Neil Young's Freedom. I was almost going to do a video on Neil Young. I still might at some point. I think he's one of the artists. I bought, I kind of buy albums by him and then I sell them. I buy them again, then I sell them. It's kind of stupid, I know, but Freedom was a good album. Keep on Rockin' in the Free World, of course. But I love the ones before that even more, like Trans and Landing on Water. I've got those. And Tonight's the Night. Never bought George Michael albums, but of course, a great talent. Might have bought, like I said again, for disc jockeying, but they weren't part of my serious record collection. And of course, all these were vinyl, of course, back in the day. When this came out, I really liked David Bowie, but I might have bought the singles for the dances, but I never bought this album. But now I have his whole discography. He's one of the greats. And that's a very, very good album. Squeeze. I never bought this particular album, but I bought the ones before it and their greatest hits album, and they're great. Great band. I don't remember if I bought this or not. I think I might have, but my favorite, I bought their debut album when it came out, and I love that. It's one of the greatest debut albums ever, but other than that, I've never been a big fan of the band. Susan Vega, never got into. Steve Earle, yeah, Guitar Town is a great song. Copperhead Road later on, we had those to play at the dances, but I never bought his albums. Robbie Robertson, I never bought that, but I love the album. I wouldn't mind it in my collection. The Human League, Don't You Want Me Baby, great song, but never bought the album. Public Image Limited, I never bought them, but I love the Sex Pistols. I'm guilty. I bought Cyndi Lauper's first 3 albums. Yeah, a great talent. Back in the 80s, they were fun albums. Yeah, Prince, Sign of the Times I had. Purple Rain, of course. The follow-up. I always forget the name of that. Around the World in 80 Days or whatever. That might be my favorite. But yeah, I was buying Prince albums. Great, great talent. Don Henley, Once again, the singles for the dances, but I never bought his albums. Just, I'm not a fan of the Eagles. I mean, they're great, they're talented, but just, they kind of bore me. I never listened to Marshall Crenshaw. Sorry, Morris Gautreaux. I've reacted to a song or two on my Patreon, and he's great, but never bought his albums. I was just thinking, I wonder if Sparks are on this list. I doubt it, because it's Rolling Stone. Crowded House. I didn't buy but I really, great talent, of course, but never bought their albums. Yep, Traveling Wilburys. I bought that when it came out, and I also bought Volume 3. They never had a Volume 2. Nope, never bought LL Cool J. I like the Specials, but I never bought them. Never bought their albums. Randy Newman, Trouble in Paradise. Yes, I'm a big Randy Newman fan. This might be, even though I'm a big fan, this might be the last of his albums that I ever bought. But I've got all of his early ones. Neville Brothers, never bought. 10,000 Maniacs, never bought. Living Color, yep, I bought that when it came out. Yeah, and Vernon Reid, such a great guitarist, great band. Gang of Four, I think I would have liked their albums back in the day. I just never bought them. From what I've heard, my kind of music. Def Leppard, Pyromania, I never bought, but I bought the follow-up, whatever it's called. Mainly for dances, though. They're good, but they're not, a band that I really got into. Hey, Captain Beefheart is on the list. Yes. One of my favorite albums by him. And his second last, sadly. Yeah. Cool to see him on the list. I'm a big Captain Beefheart fan. Lou Reed. Glenn Kellaway from the Basement's favorite artist. Yeah, The Blue Mask is awesome. I have all of his albums. George Clinton. I never got into his music. Yeah, Parliament, Funkadelic. I'm sure I would have really liked it, but I just never bought the albums. No idea who that is. Various artists. I bought that when it came out. Very good album. Pete Townsend from The Who, Empty Glass. Closer, Joy Division. I never got into Joy Division. I think mainly it's because, the lead singer sadly took his own life, but Love Will Tear Us Apart is a great song. I'm a huge fan of Creedence Clearwater Revival, but I never bought anything in John Fogerty's solo career, except for, once again, singles maybe for dances. I never bought Speaking in Tongues. I kind of gave up on them. I love Burning Down the House. Is that on here? But anyway, Fear of Music is my favorite Talking Heads album. And then, so I think I have the first 4 albums, and then I kind of lost interest in them. But they are one of the greats from the 80s. John Hyatt, I never bought. Dire Straits, I bought Brothers in Arms, and that's it. I think I'm going to make this 2 videos. I wasn't planning to, but it's taking a while. So the last one for this, part 1, is Run DMC, and I never bought Run DMC. but of course they were very influential in the 80s. So that's it. Stay tuned for part 2. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.